for Major Stories, I am Joel Crosskill. As the Christmas period approaches, the Jamaica Constabulary Force is increasing the deployment of personnel in public spaces. It is urging citizens to be more vigilant of their surroundings, as robberies and accidents tend to increase around this time of the year. Robian Williams has more in this report.
Head of the Constabulary Communications Unit, CCU, Senior Superintendent of Police, Stephanie Lindsay, says the objective of the Jamaica Constabulary Force for this season is to ensure public safety.
We have sufficient members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force to keep you safe. So we have improved on our deployment. So you would see increased deployment, additional police officers right across the country. We're focusing on the major thoroughfares as well as major town centers.
SSP Lindsay revealed that no vacation leave will be granted during the holiday period, and all members of the force on leave have been asked to resume work. She is urging members of the public not to travel with large sums of money, as it is an attraction for robbers.
If you're going shopping, try to have an idea where you're going to shop, what is it that you're going to buy, and the amount of money that you intend to spend, so that you can apportion your cash according to your purchases. That will prevent you from having to take out large sums of money in the public space.
Head of the Community Safety and Security Branch, Assistant Commissioner of Police, ACP, Elon Powell, is imploring members of the public to not use their phones on the road, but instead take a mental picture of persons within your surroundings to help the police in their investigations in case of an emergency.
If you're going home and you notice anything strange at your gate or in the vicinity of your home, please don't drive into the premises, but instead call a neighbor, call a friend, drive to the nearest police station, but don't confront what could be a potential danger on your own.
Night or day, the streets are deemed unsafe as robberies are increasing and oftentimes include violence. An employee of a call center in New Kingston was shot dead during a robbery in a parking lot in the commercial district on Wednesday night. The police are probing this incident. Robian Williams for CVM Live.
Cabinet has approved the acquisition of land for the construction of a divisional headquarters for police in St. Catherine North. The government says the move is in keeping with its efforts to improve the work environment for law enforcement. Jamila Maitland reports.
St. Catherine North will soon have a new police divisional headquarters. Minister of Information Carl Samuda says the facility will be located at Darling's Pen in the parish. Currently, the Spanish Town Police Station acts as the base for officers in that division. However, the facility is reportedly too small to accommodate any expansion. Moreover, with the closure of the compound on Hanover Street, several units have been squeezed into the already tight facility. But with only the approval from Cabinet to acquire the property, there is no telling of how long the officers will have to work in crammed spaces.
The move is to keep make all the efforts in the world to provide a more suitable working environment for the police officers and better service delivery to the public. That's an area that has been of concern to the country for some time, and we are doing everything we can in our power to ensure that the environment in which the national security personnel operates is up to a certain standard.
Chairman of the Police Federation, Detective Sergeant Patray Rowe, has described the announcement as long overdue.
We are pleased with this development, and we hope that the announcement will not only be made, but the construction will be advanced quickly, so that our members can be in that new building in short order.
And the Cabinet has also approved the land to build parking spaces for officers at the Port Maria Police Station. The government broke ground for the police station in 2018, but it was without a parking lot.
This will bring great relief to the entire area, and although St. Mary is not one of the areas that we find an upsurge in crime, certainly we need to ensure that across the length and breadth of Jamaica the facilities are appropriate for the work that has to be done by the security forces.
Jamaica Maitland for CVM Live.
Recently, Toyota Jamaica Limited, Kingston Industrial Garage and ATL Automotive, in separate letters, raised concerns to the Director of Procurement in the Ministry of National Security, Douglas Stewart, that they were advised at pre-bid meetings that each company would only be allowed to bid on one contract. The companies refer to affiliate companies of Stewart's Automotive Group, Silver Star Motors and Stewart's Auto Sales, being awarded contracts to supply the Jamaica Constabulary Force with 64 Mitsubishi pickup trucks and 43 SUV crossover motor vehicles. As Aladdin Love tells us, the Security Ministry insists that there was no breach in its motor vehicle procurement process. However, the New Car Dealers Association of Jamaica disagrees.
In letters dated December 13 and 14, Toyota Jamaica Limited, Kingston Industrial Garage and ATL Automotive Group expressed they were at a loss to understand how Stewart's Automotive Group was awarded both contracts to supply the Jamaica Constabulary Force with Mitsubishi motor vehicles, given that Silver Star Motors is a dealer for Mercedes-Benz in Jamaica. The respective car dealers want to know if Silver Star Motors had provided an authorization letter for the company to be utilized as a dealer of Mitsubishi vehicles.
Now, for the very first time we are hearing that Silver Star Motors is going to be a representative for Mitsubishi and in particular these pickups. I think that at a minimum the evaluators ought to have looked into that information provided by the Stewart Automotive Group, and also they claim letters were received from Mitsubishi Motor Company recognizing two separate dealerships to represent the same brand of motor vehicles. That sounds unusual to us.
The Group Commercial Director for the ATL Automotive Group and Vice Chairman of the New Car Dealers Association of Jamaica, Wayne Cummings, adds that the motor vehicle procurement process must be fair. On Monday, the Ministry of National Security issued a release advising that all Government of Jamaica procurement guidelines necessary for the supply and maintenance of fit-for-purpose motor vehicles for the JCF were thoroughly observed. The ministry says on June 3, 2019, it opened a national competitive bid opportunity for the supply and delivery of the vehicles, after which an evaluation committee recommended the contracts be awarded to the Stewart's Automotive Group affiliate companies.
If for no other reason they should ask the question to be concerned, and hopefully would have got the responses, is that they know that this is a very competitive space. People are going to question it, so they should therefore have asked and received responses to natural queries. And if they didn't ask the question, our further question to the ministry is, why didn't you ask the questions?
The New Car Dealers Association of Jamaica is awaiting a solid answer from the ministry. Aladdin Love for CVM Live.
The Transport Operators Development Sustainable Services TODS is making a final call to the government for a fare increase. The group argues that public passenger operators are being sidelined and is asking for a seat at the table as the country approaches the new year. Jamaica Maitland reports.
No farewell to the fare increase, says TODS. The transport operators say they're disappointed in the government for not considering their request for the increase. President of TODS, Edgerton Newman, argues that public passenger vehicles make up majority of the country's transport sector, yet it is being sidelined.
I'm saying we will not retreat, we will not surrender, we need a fare increase. And there's no question about that. We understand what is happening. We'll hold fast, Sir James, but in the meantime, Minister, come to the table.
The operators argue that the sector is at the mercy of oil prices, licensing fees, insurance, repair costs, and come April, the mandatory GPS tracker for all public passenger vehicles. One member says his livelihood is being threatened.
Of course, that was when we get the last fare increase. Was about $3.something million, nearly $4 million. Now it's $12 million flat fee cost about to insure that was $6.2 million to insure that was now.
Another member argued that the government needs to give the operators a seat at the table, citing that the Fair Trade Commission has not been advocating for the transport sector. And with the overwhelming reports of road crashes, they're calling for the revision of the limit and liability from insurance claim.
When you look at the level of fatal crashes that we have been having, and I keep referring to the Homewood crash, and the limit of liability that would have been available for all of those persons who were injured, looking at $3 million. That's not enough. That's not sufficient. So the liability limits need to be seriously looked at by government. If we're going to be looking at road safety, and we're going to be looking at the discipline on the road, then we need to look at everything holistically.
Jamila Maitland for CVM Live.
With extensive growth in the business processing sector, much more is being done to find a way to move Jamaica up the value chain. The effective strategies as well as hindrances to achieving this vision were discussed during a CVM Live panel discussion last evening. Christine Forbes has more.
The business process outsourcing sector is among the fastest growing sectors in the economy. Chairman Yoni Epstein says the growth in the BPO industry was widespread. He also adds that for the vast majority, the BPO industry provided that first job that gives the foundation for a career.
I've seen the benefits firsthand of employees, how they've moved up the company and been promoted from agents to supervisors to managers to country managers of other companies.
The Director of Global Services Association of Jamaica, Anand Birandar, believes the BPO industry is one of the best things to have happened to Jamaica.
BPO, as the country sees today, yes, there are questions, challenges. We're coming up the value chain. But in the future, 5-10 years from now, when we will be delivering IT services, high-end knowledge services out of this country, the talent here is fantastic. There are a few things we need to work on, but I definitely see 5-10 years from now where the expectation meets and exceeds.
Birandar says further growth is possible as Jamaica has the upper hand in getting the task done.
Right, when we're talking about moving up the value chain, within the healthcare space, you could talk about remote nursing, you could talk about wellness intervention, you could talk about pharmacy techs supporting the U.S. market. And otherwise, you can talk about app development, IT development, HR outsourcing, legal process outsourcing.
Epstein says the telecom disruption is a major hindrance to the growth in the BPO industry.
You know, when you do have this outages, your client asks you questions. And when those outages are more sporadic or more regular and they're longer, you know, it does lead to that concern of the client to say, what is happening in Jamaica? Why are you keep having to push calls to another country or to another site? And that is the fear in the long term for many of the players here.